have to say this has probably been one of my most productive work days in a long time. And I feel really, really like happy because I filmed a makeup tutorial. Welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is Botox? Not a Botox, a face effects. Ma'am, I think people might have forgot the 2-scroll rule. And we can't ignore the 2-scroll rule, okay? So this one is called A Narcissistic Birthday. Hi, Bo. I just want to share this story with you all. I don't need advice because I've left the situation for almost 5 years now. Sharing is caring. And this way we can morally support each other. I love how you stay gagged after reading some of our experiences. It makes me laugh, and at least we can laugh after all the hurt. Exactly. It's like sunshine after a hurricane. Very that, okay? So before I found out my baby daddy had a whole relationship behind my back, welcome to the club, girl, I was already fed up with him and wanted out. Well. I just didn't have the mental strength to kick him out. He is a narcissist to his core and doesn't know the meaning of the word no. Go away and never come back. I've tried breaking up with him over the years. We're almost 10 years together, but he always came back and acted like nothing happened. That was one of my biggest issues. Like, we would be fighting, and then after the fight, and like these are like the occasions where I don't apologize, right? Because it was just so volatile. After the fight, he would like act like he wasn't just being so disrespectful out of nowhere. And I would be like, you cannot do that. You need to at least run me my apology before you try to just talk to me like nothing happened. Like you weren't just calling me a cuntbitch. Girl, have some class. Like what? September 2017, my last birthday with him. He worked in a restaurant and was always home late. That year, my birthday fell on his day off. So he was able to celebrate my day with me and our daughter, almost 5 at that time, all day. That morning, I woke up to 0 presents. I really didn't care as long as you make my day special. I don't need a material gift. He came up with the excuse that he didn't have time to get me something and we could go in the city later that day and get me something. I was livid, but I kept my cool. Why? Because this has happened many times before and also on Christmas or any other special day. I'm the type of person that's going to tell you, no thanks, I don't want anything anymore. You had 365/366 days to get me something. If I can do it, a very busy mother and full-time student with little to no help from anyone during the week, so can you. Someone who knows very well how to make time to chill with friends and leave me regularly at home, alone at home, neglected. See, you know what's so crazy? Reading this is more triggering to me than telling my own story because it's like you're telling me my business. Like what? Textbook. Later that day in the city, he told me to go ahead and walk around while he and our daughter went on to find me a gift. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Okay, I'm irritated and acting like I'm okay. I started to window shop in the other direction. Why didn't I object? Because now, after 9 solid years, I was fed up with arguing and being gaslit. Always being called out of my name in front of my child. And when he got aggressive enough, all hell broke loose and we ended up tussling. Well, after a while, I saw my ex and my daughter coming out of a sports shop with bags in their hand. Now he wanted to go shopping for himself, girl. I'm tired already, girl. Mind you, I am a fashionista, girly girl who barely wears anything sporty. My reaction in my mind, oh hell no. Last year I got sneakers, which I never cared for. Not again. No, she didn't care for the sneakers, girl. I love me a good sneaker. What kind of shoes were they? So we get in the car and he hands me the bag. I opened it and yes, the same mother effing sneakers I got last year, but in another color. And guess what? He got my baby the same kind and color so we can match. Well, I mean, I think that's kind of cute, but I understand why you're still frustrated. Okay, that is cute. Oh, she said that. She said it's cute, but he got the wrong size. Almost 10 years and you still don't know me? Well, I told him right away, wrong size. Please go back and see if they have my size. I didn't even say thank you, nor was I smiling. But did he notice? Nope. He thought he's being an awesome partner, so he couldn't see how unhappy I was. One thing I had to say, well, actually, because you know your relationship and I don't, I was gonna say one thing I had to say is you can't be, like, people are not mind readers, so you cannot be expecting him to read your mind. If you're gonna pretend that you're okay and not say that you're not okay, you can't expect him to know that. even if he is problematic. However, the other side of that is they do not care. When they are genuine narcissists aren't genuine people. When they are like true, everything I say is an oxymoron, true narcissist, genuine narcissist. If somebody is actually narcissistic or a narcissist, even if you tell them exactly how you're feeling, they're not gonna give a damn. So there's really no point in wasting your breath, and that's probably where you were mentally, why you're deciding to shut your mouth, okay? So I get it, okay? I am always vocal about my feelings and my interests. So yeah, if you don't know after 9 years and 6 months, then see, I keep talking before I get to the damn part. A few minutes later, he came back and said they didn't have my size. So I said, okay, don't worry, I'll exchange it another day for something else. I exchanged it a few days later for a pastel blue Adidas slides, which I had been eyeing for a while. So in the end, I made myself happy. Okay, moving on to the moment after a gift in the wrong size. I don't know where we were heading, and I really didn't care. I was hungry and I just wanted food, which obviously we were gonna get, but where? I didn't know or care. All of a sudden, we stop in front of a designer brand men's clothing store. I don't remember the brand's name. It's a popular men's brand in Europe. I lived at the time in Holland. He said to me, wait a moment in the car, I will be right back. This man came out of the store with a whole expensive outfit just for himself to wear on my B-day. I'm sorry, what?
Miss Jackson.
An outfit 3 times more expensive than the damn shoes he bought me in a hurry. Was that necessary? I was flabbergasted and thought that was very selfish of him, but I kept my cool again. The whole day, I felt just bad. We went out for dinner and I just sat there in silence eating my food. And he sat there looking all happy and didn't even notice that I was quiet. Like, this man doesn't care about nobody but himself. That was the worst birthday ever. And a week later, I found out that he was cheating on me for a whole year. Not a year. Oh my. And not just effing around. No, promising to propose to this girl. Okay, so narcissists do this thing called future faking. And so that was what was happening in my situation too, because he's future faking her and telling her they're gonna be together and all these things, but has no real intention on leaving. So when I finally kick him out, he's able to then say, I told you we were gonna be together. I told you we were gonna be together, but trying to make it seem like he left the home and he left me, but really I removed him. So the future faking and him telling the girl he's gonna propose to her is what they do. And then when you finally leave, that's when they go to that person and are like, we're finally able to be together, only to down the line do the same thing to the other person. I have given this man my heart and soul, endured so much mental, physical abuse and neglect for him to have the audacity to treat me like less than. I'm trying to heal, but it's hard. I have been through so much ish you can't even imagine. Oh, I can imagine, ma'am. I can certainly imagine. I really feel like in the season that we are in now, in our lives, especially after coming out of a situation like that, it takes so much time to get back to you, to get back to being healthy, because these relationships take a toll on every part of you. It takes a toll on your mental health. It takes a toll on your heart. It takes a toll on your even appetite. There have been so many days that I couldn't even eat. Even like the last 2 weeks, I had been struggling to eat until my sister got to town, and like I'm like being force fed. My sister's like making sure I eat every single day, but before she got to town, I was really struggling. I was like forcing myself to eat because I had no appetite, because these people were really just coming in and disrupting everything and turning me off, period. I didn't have much strength to do anything. I was literally laying in my bed, like ready to get the F ASAP. Like I was a mess. And so I totally understand experiencing that kind of abuse and how frustrating it is to be in. And you feel like you're screaming in like the wilderness and nobody can hear you and nobody's coming to save you. And like you really have to get the strength to leave. It's so hard to leave these situations because you're constantly being gaslit. You're constantly being told one thing, but then the actions are showing another thing. And that was my biggest issue. Well, one of my biggest issues, girl, I had so many damn issues, but that was one of my biggest issues that I kept bringing to the table. I'm like, you are saying one thing out of your mouth and your actions are proving otherwise. So I'm gonna believe the actions, because the words mean nothing. They mean nothing if there's no action behind them. It's like saying I'm gonna shovel the driveway and I just stand in the freaking garage staring at the driveway expecting the driveway to shovel itself when I'm the one that said I was gonna shovel it. That don't make no type of sense, okay? And so that's what these men do, and some women are doing this to people and ruining their lives, literally ruining their lives, because the people that they're with love them so deeply that they wait and they wait and they wait for them to show and prove, and then they don't. And then you're like, okay, well, I gotta go. So thanks for sharing your story. Now, ma'am, why did you do that? I'm like actually very upset. I didn't read the story yet. I just wanted to see how long it was. And I started scrolling and there's literally a dick pic in here. That's not what Botox is about. I can't even read this now. Like, I don't want to see, I'm actually gagging. Like, why would you do that? Why would you send me somebody's pee-pee? Like, what? Ma'am, get it together. And I'm not even gonna say your name, ma'am. You know who you are. Why would you send me that? I'm literally mortified right now. I was scrolling to see how long the damn email was, and all I see is this. This one is called Facing the Devil, a Taurus man. Now, a lot of my subscribers, a lot of my members are dating Taurus men, to the point where I'm like, okay, well, maybe I gotta give Taurus a try again, because there was this Taurus guy that I dated very briefly years ago, but it didn't go anywhere, like literally nowhere. We talked for a little bit and that was it, you know? And so all my members are like, my man's Taurus, my man's Taurus, my man's Taurus. Oh, he let me down. Oh, he let me down. All this stuff. I'm like, do I need to try me a Taurus again? Taurus to Taurus? I feel like, I don't know. Will it work? I don't know, but you're calling him the devil? I'm not into devilish things, okay? So let's see. Love you, Bo, but you already know that or knew that. Keeping it as short as possible, I'm currently 21 Libra, and I've been with my boyfriend, 24 Taurus, for 2 years, and we have a 1-year-old son together. So one thing I want to say is this, because when I was telling the members that the next man I was gonna try I was hoping would be like a Libra, and they were like, no ma'am. No Libras. They say, if you want to get played with, date a Libra. However, the reason that I thought Libra would even be a good fit for me is because I love to laugh, and I know Libra men are really, really funny. So I was interested in Libra, but girl, they said, no, baby. At this point, she's just gonna be single and rich. Okay, like that's all I'm gonna do. Single and rich, okay? So shout out to all the Libras of the world. Whew. Our love story is not very ideal, LOL. But skipping forward, the whole time my son has been born, he hasn't had a job. I worked part-time and would pay all the bills. The problem is, no, you already told me what the problem was. Girl, I was doing splitsies and 50-50. And I thought it was very ghetto, okay? There was a brief time that I wasn't doing that, okay? And he paid for everything, but that's only because I was stacking. So technically it wasn't really paying for, I don't really know how to describe that one, because we were splitting and then decided we're saving for a home. So I started to not spend any of my money, and I'm just stacking it. And so he's paying everything while I'm stacking it. And so we would both be benefiting from it anyway. So it was still kind of like paying 50-50, because my portion was going into the savings fund, whereas he wasn't putting anything into the savings fund. So it was still splitsies, girl. But this, paying all the bills is crazy, period. The problem is, he spends all our money on weed and is very selfish. If you are jobless, you don't get to smoke weed. If you are jobless, you don't get to smoke the herb, the marijuana, the bush. You don't get to smoke it if you are homeless, girl. Not me traumatized by the homosexuals. You don't get to smoke ganja if you don't have a job to support your habit. You don't get to do it, okay? Women, I need you to take a stand at this point. I really do. He takes just about everything he can from me and never gives me anything in return. Same. I find myself every day feeling so alone because we don't bond, and when we do spend time together, I feel a disconnect, like if we're strangers, and it makes me so unhappy. I feel obligated to stay with him and help him win because he doesn't have anyone else and has had a very hard childhood. I'm not going to read the rest of your email. Go and watch the content. This is the problem. We pour into these people without them pouring back into us. Then once you finish emptying your cup into there, you are the one that's left empty. You are the one left picking up the pieces. You have a child with him already. How long do you want it to go on for? I'm back to 2016 bougie telling everybody break up with their man. The girls were making fun of me the other day in the Discord. They said, first it was my only advice was leave that nigga. Now my only advice is go to therapy. Period. Okay, leave that nigga and go to therapy. Now we're doing both. This is not the life for us. Okay, this is the life for no one, whether you are a man or a girl, or a woman. You do not need to be with anybody that leaves you feeling empty. Nobody is taking advantage of you. And you don't get to make the excuses. You don't get to say, oh, what was him? He had a crappy childhood. He was surviving. Nobody loved him. Yada, yada, yada. Same, girl. That's what I was saying. That's what kept me there. They use the sob story. The covert narcissists are the worst one, okay? Because you don't know who the hell you're in a relationship with until it's too late. Get out. Like, I don't need to finish your email because you've already summed up the entire first 9 years of my relationship in just the first part of your email. It only gets worse. There's a certain type of man, they're mooches, they're leeches, they literally suck you dry, okay? When the only thing they should be sucking dry is your friggin'
Miss Jackson.
Like, that's the only thing they should be sucking dry, okay? So this, unacceptable. Unacceptable! But I don't want to hear nothing else like this. I put out the content. I'm like the most vulnerable person on the face of the damn earth. Like putting out all kinds of content for you guys to grasp it so that you don't have to go through whatever the hell I just went through. Because baby, it was hell, okay? You don't have to go through this kind of stuff. And we have to stop making these excuses for these men and for these women, whoever you're dating, about their past and their childhood. Were you there at the birth? Did you help the mom deliver the baby? It's not our responsibility to nurse these men back to life, okay? It's not our job to do it because what do we get in return but crapped on, disrespected, and then we're left to pick up the pieces. It's gonna be you in the end that is going to have to do extreme healing while he is gonna pretend like he didn't just F your whole life up. So you don't need to help him win because who's helping you win? You need to help yourself win, okay? That's what I had to do. I had to help myself win because wasn't nobody gonna do it for me. It was gonna be me and Jesus, okay? That's it. That's all I had. That's all I've ever had, me and Jesus. So we can't keep doing this. I'm so sorry. And I hope you know this is coming from love, girl. I don't want to see not another one of my sisters going through none of this B. Okay? S. Bull. Okay? No more. No more excuses for these tired men. If you don't want to get a job, you don't need to be around me. I don't want to be around any kind of adult that doesn't think that they need to work or want to work or have a career or get this bread, okay? And not by any means either. Not by any means, because all money is not good money. So somebody that is a decent freaking human being is who can be in my life. And that's platonic or not platonic, you know, platonic or romantic. Okay, we don't need to be dealing with people that deplete us, period. Okay, so this one is a member submission. Hi, Bo, I'm really in need of, oh my gosh, she sent this last year, November, girl. Hi, Bo, I'm really in need of some advice. A little backstory, I come from a big family, mom, dad, sister's husband, 3 nephews, myself, my boyfriend, and my daughter. We all live in the same house and have always done everything as a family. My mom was what held us together. She was diagnosed with cancer for the second time in February 2022. I'm so sorry. For 5 months, we watched her suffer and be in pain. Multiple doctor visits, multiple emergency room visits, and she was always sent home with antibiotics and pain medication. She never got the chance at chemo, radiation, or surgery. Her tumor went from the size of a golf ball to the size of a softball, and then had a small opening and was leaking. The doctor sent her home with an open wound and did not treat her still. The last time we took her to the hospital, they finally admitted her, and literally overnight, she went from talking to completely out of it. Okay, hold on. Let me try to hold it together. I don't like talking about death. And that's obviously where this is headed. We were told she had sepsis, which came from an infection of that open wound. Oh my gosh. We were told she had 48 hours to get anyone who would like to say their goodbyes to come to the hospital. She passed on July 6, 2022. My dad was the only one at the hospital at the time. We were on our way there. Mind you, they were together for 45 years. Oh my goodness. Anniversary was July 9th. Oh my God, your dad must be like, ooh, hold on. That's like 3 days before their anniversary. Oh, my period's coming, so ignore me. Oh my God. Like 45 years of marriage is so beautiful. So I believe she passed as she would have wanted just them two. Why would you email me this, ma'am? Oh my goodness. That's how they spent their final anniversary. That's so, like, it's like bittersweet, you know? Holy goodness. Okay, hold on. Y'all really trying it. It's a good thing I didn't put on my mascara. See, God knew, because I forgot to add the mascara to the look. Ever since that day, none of us have been the same. She was the best mom and most amazing grandma. I can't even get through this damn email. Oh my gosh. And the reason is because my mom is the best mom too and the most amazing grandma. Like, I couldn't picture life without her. And so anytime somebody tells me that they lost their mom, I'm like, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I don't think you guys understand. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. And then I was talking to my friend from high school. We were like best friends in high school. I was literally just talking to her last week, and she told me that her mom passed in 2020, and I was like, what? Like, what? And again, like, it's like you don't even know what to say. And so I have two friends that have lost their moms since I've been friends with them, and like, it's just so unfathomable. And you know, death is really the only thing in this life that we're guaranteed. And so you know that it can happen one day. You never expect it to happen to you, I guess, or that you're going to lose somebody like that close to you. So yeah. She was even the best mother-in-law to my boyfriend and my sister's husband, as they both don't have a good relationship with their own mom. We all have bad days, and we all still walk around not accepting the fact. What I'm asking advice on is, how do I grieve while trying to raise my own little girl? I have noticed myself, I have become angry and short-tempered at even the smallest thing. I notice I can sometimes take my frustration out on my boyfriend or my daughter, and immediately after I raise my voice at her, I apologize because I know it's not her fault, but the smallest thing will irritate me. She's such a smart and amazing little girl. She had the best bond with my mom, even at only 2. She knows that grandma is gone and will say things on her own. She'll tell us she misses grandma, or that grandma is in the sky. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so emotional. Sometimes she'll be going to bed and I can hear her say goodnight, grandma, or in the morning she'll say good morning, grandma. I don't think I can finish your email. I really don't. And it makes me bawl my eyes out. Well, ma'am, what did you think it was gonna do to me? Oh my goodness. Anytime I cry, she asks me if I'm okay and do I miss grandma. I always say yes. She deserves a happy mom, but how can I be happy when my life would never be the same? My mom was my world. Everyone thinks I'm so strong and I've handled it well, but I know I'm not okay. I know I've pushed the feeling to the side and try not to think about it all. But then I have my moments. I just need to know how I can move past this and be at peace. Thank you so much. So I'm going to try to give you like the best advice without actually having gone through that, because I'm crying about your story and it's not even my mom. Like, so I can only imagine what you go through or what you're feeling, because one thing people don't really understand unless they are a mom themselves is how hard it is to parent when you're going through other things. And so I want you to know, one, that it's normal that sometimes you catch yourself being a little short because you've just gone through something traumatic. Now, what I think that you have to do in those moments when you feel that anxiety and that anger, building or where it's going to cause you to be short with either, your boyfriend or your child, take a step away. If you have to go scream in your pillow, just take a step away, have a shower, do something that either, mellows you or allows you to let the feeling pass without it being or becoming any kind of toxic environment where your child is concerned. But I want you to know that that's completely normal. And I think that happens more often than not. And it doesn't just happen with grief, but it's good that you're aware of it, because that means that you can do something about it. And obviously, I think that grief counseling is really important. I think you can go to grief counseling for free. It's like going to AA, right? Like, you can go to grief meetings and it's not necessarily therapy, but it's other people there that are dealing with loss, and you can talk and create friendships. And obviously nobody's ever going to replace your mom, and the way you described her makes me think of my mom. And so again, I can only imagine, and I don't want to imagine that. Obviously, my mom is in her 60s. Like, I know one day, maybe, one day maybe my mom will leave the earth. Hopefully, we get to leave together when we're both old. I don't know, but like, I would be a mess. And because also, even though my mom is in her 60s, I saw when my mom lost her mom, and you would think that my mom lost her mom when she was a child, because no matter what age you are, if you are bonded to your mom in a good way, in a healthy way, when you lose that parent, it's hard to process. So I think the number one thing that you should do is get into grief counseling. And also, just when those feelings are starting to erupt, take a minute for yourself, or 5. Just walk away. I do it all the time. Like, if the kids are stirring up and acting crazy and it's already been a long day or whatever, I have to step away, okay? Because I can't be in this house shouting down plays, like, you know, and it's not gonna be sunshine and rainbows all the time, but it's because the kids are so young. Like, your daughter's only 2, so obviously you don't want to be yelling at her, short with her. But terrible 2s are horrible. So even though the kids are sweet and smart and, you know, they are adorable, when they are in those ages, it's already a lot to deal with. So dealing with that on top of dealing with grief and what other issues you may be faced with, you know, it could be something as simple as your work stress. Like, all those things piling on one person is too much. So I encourage you to seek the grief counseling. Also, be praying regularly and take the time every day to go and talk to your mom. Don't be afraid to talk to your mom and tell your mom how you're feeling. You know, tell her you're upset that she's not there, and whatever you want to say to her, or that you miss her. Talk to her and don't close her off just because she's not physically there, because I'm sure her presence is still like in your house, you know? So I hope that this advice was good enough for you. I don't want to talk anymore because I'm still sat here boo-hooing, and I wasn't planning on crying today. But yeah, I'm sending you all kinds of love and strength and hugs, and hug, okay? Take care of yourself and your family, and just support each other as much as you can, because I know too, like, when people lose people that are the glue, it's hard for everybody else to stay together after the fact. So yeah, and hug your dad for me too. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that they were together for 45 years. That's so crazy. And your mom is so cute, and your babies are so cute. Okay, so this next one is called, and this is probably gonna be the last one I do for today. Using sex to devalue me. Hey, so it's so crazy how I was scrolling through YouTube and came across your video. I was at work, so I saved the video to my watch later, but honestly, I think I didn't want to face the facts. I've been dating this guy since July 2022, right? It started with him coming full onto me, love bombing, and quickly in a relationship. Sex one time on the second night. So boom, we get in our first argument in August. Y'all's arguing in August? What? And we broke up. He disappeared for 2 weeks. I'm talking, changed his number and all. I was hurt, I can't lie, but my mind somehow was like, be you winning. He that mad and passionate to do all that. Maybe my ego, I don't know. He comes back, he apologizes, tells me he loves me, and constantly asks, do I want him? He sounds like crazy AF. But now, guess what? He wants relationship-ish, but not a full commitment. Me being the Gemini, I am like, cool, because I got options. In my head, I'm like, if he play, I'ma do me. And when he left them 2 weeks, I cheated. There's still arguments and all, but guess what? No sex. He's celibate and working on himself. He hustles. But, okay, can we leave hustlers alone? Can we leave thugs alone? And like, can we just date grown men now? That stuff is very childish behavior. It's not even childish, it's just stupid. Okay, what is a hustler? The hustlers, the scammers, drug dealers, gunmen, like, dead that, okay? Please, it's 2023. We have to level up. This is why we don't get nowhere in life, because we're over here dating the niggas that be going to jail. And then wondering why the frig life is like upside down. We're dating men that have zero standards. So once again, I accept the excuses, but now he has a job. So once again, I accept the excuses, but being pained with no love and affection from a Scorpio. Like, come on, LOL. His birthday just passed and I was mad at him and went out with friends. And at the end of the night, I sent my finest pics and he rushed me in the rain to come over to F the ish out of me. I come, of course. Why the only thing that happened was me giving him head? Okay, so I'm not gonna label this man. But the whole thing with head when dealing with a certain type of man is a control thing. So men that are the N-word don't like to have sex because of it makes them feel vulnerable, and they don't like feeling vulnerable because they like feeling like they have power and are in control. So if he lured you to the house to say that he's gonna do that, then you give him head and then he don't return. Baby, I'm cutting the dick off. Like what? Like I'm cutting it off. Like snip snip, no dick for you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on a freaking skewer and take it with me, because why the hell did you tell me you're gonna do that when I get to your house, and then I get to your house and I'm on my knees for whatever amount of time, and then now all of a sudden that's it, folks. We're not playing those types of games, okay? It's a power move though, and it was done deliberately, and it's disgusting and degrading. It's humiliating. What? I was so mad he pulled that on me, but when we had sex, the first and only time, he went south, so I accepted the BS of pleasuring him back. I never dated someone and not have sex but strong emotions in a relationship. I'm spiritual as well, so I thought maybe I was meant to get to know someone without sex, but God put your video in my path. Okay, so one thing I didn't mention in the narcissism versus sex video was that one of the ways that I was kind of lured and love bombed in the relationship in the very, very beginning was our first time doing anything sexually. Because remember, he was just coming over to my house and hanging out. And so one day we were watching like TV in the basement or whatever, and he had said to me, I must have did something to like, I don't know if I like kept kicking him by accident. And so he said to me, if I kick him again by accident, he's gonna bite my vagine. And I thought it was a strange thing to say, but I love head. Okay. I love head, so I'm like, well, damn, well, if that's the case, well, I'm gonna just kick him again by accident on purpose. And I did, and he surely bit it. So, well, he didn't bite it, girl, but hook, line, and sinker. Okay. And so didn't ask for anything in return. I didn't have to do anything. Literally just was a munch. And that was our first interaction with anything sexual. Before then, I don't even think we had kissed. Okay. Like, So when I looked back at the relationship and, realized that was our first sexual interaction, it all kind of made sense, because they interact with you like that in the beginning, do stuff like that, like give you head, think that they are like this very sexual, pleasuring, like care about you as a woman, like your needs as a woman, because most guys that you date would actually prefer that you are doing that to them first, and and actually require sex after, but it wasn't like that. And so it was such a different experience. Little did I know it was a tactic. So you saying that to me in this email is pretty much what happened to me too, only there was no sex. Let me continue. I'm literally being abused and didn't know. And now I feel betrayed, because yes, my intentions are always pure towards him, but it seems he's my enemy. He's not financially stable either, and I don't like that at all. They never are though. A hustler is just that, hustling. Okay, they're swindlers by nature, and they're swindlers in every aspect of the word. So you're not going to get stability there. I definitely don't want to be used for my money. It's like my mind can't fathom him being this way, but hell no, I see the signs. Thanks so much for the content. I'm always watching girl vlogs, and look, I sent a nude and he disregarded mine. Like no acknowledgement, but my homegirls were all over my pic. It hurts. I really, really thank you, I swear, because I thought that maybe I was being in my ego and cocky when I'm around him, but no, God's saying stand up. He is downplaying you. Okay, and she sent me her pictures, and she is for sure fine, so we already know it's the man. Unless she is crazy, but I don't think so, girl. She looks actually really good. These men are crazy. Like, leave women alone. If you have these issues with yourself, don't try to get women into your grasp because you can't deal with yourself as a person and you don't like to be alone with yourself because you are a madman, go be a madman by yourself. Or go to the psych ward and sit in there with your grippy socks on and make some friends in there and date the people at the psych ward. Don't be out here abusing normal people. Don't be abusing anybody, okay? But like, at least if there's two damn narcissists on an island somewhere, they could just be narcissistic together, but they're on the island so it doesn't affect anybody else, okay? Castrate them and leave them out there on the island so they cannot make any more narcissists. This is crazy. Like, leave people alone. If you are unhappy with yourself, leave people alone. Like, how is that so hard? How is it so hard to just be single? Don't date anybody because every time you date somebody, you damage them. And they don't care, obviously. That's why they do it. They just keep going and going and going. The damn Energizer Bunny until eventually they kill themselves because they're so unsatisfied with themselves that they have to try to bring people down with them. Like, no, leave people alone. They won't bother you. She won't bother this man. Like, and that's the crazy thing too. Like, the men pursue the hell out of you. Like, they pursue you and you don't even, you're being love bombed. You don't clock that you're being love bombed. You think that it's normal. So I saw a tweet the other day and I was like, this is it. So this girl tweeted and she's like, she said something like, if somebody was love bombing her and was like wanting to spend all this time with her, she wouldn't know that she's being love bombed because if she was somebody else, she would want to spend all that time with herself too because she thinks she's that awesome. And I thought it was so funny because yeah, like I thought I had a great personality. Of course these niggas want to spend time with me. Like, what? No, it's not normal for anybody to want to spend an excess amount of time with you. Like, you need to breathe, okay? And so that's like a very young mindset. But like, you really do just feel like it's normal. Like, oh, this is different. But like, it doesn't feel bad at first, obviously. It feels cool. Like, oh, wow, I'm getting to know this person. Like, we're just, building our friendship. You think it's normal. But like, no. There's just nothing normal about spending every day with somebody, okay? Even married people don't do that. Even married people don't be spending every day with somebody. They live their life. They go, they have their own friends, like all these things, and there's balance there. But like, if you're talking to somebody and there's zero balance, red flag. Like, that's like the first red flag. You have to be able to differentiate or discern, is this a normal amount of time they want to spend with me, or is it abnormal? Because the line is very thin, okay? But I don't think anybody should be obsessed or trying to spend that much time with any one person. No, not okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode of Face the Facts. If you want to email me for Face the Facts, of course you can. Facing the Facts with a Z. It's on the screen. It's in the description box. It might be in the comment section. And I would be happy to read your email. I would love to be doing a lot more Face the Facts type type videos going forward because, of course, we're not really going to be doing a lot of story times. We'll still be doing story times, but we won't be doing story times as frequently as I've been doing them the last few weeks. So if you want to email me, go right ahead. I love you so much, and I will definitely see you in the next one. I don't know if I can't read or she can't spell or what. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. My brain is not computing.